Tim.
So, okay, we'll call the meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, are there any additions or corrections to the consent calendar?
So moved.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We'll call roll.
Commissioners Garbers.
Aye.
Biggers. Aye. Carlson. Aye. York.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
So next we'll move on to visitors to be heard. If there is anyone here that'd like to speak on something that is not on the agenda? No? Okay, we'll move on to old business. We're gonna have the second reading of 2026 appropriation ordinance. Andrew presented it at last meeting, and that was on September 2nd. It will be approved. If it's approved, it will be published on September 25th and be effective on January 1st, 2026. Motion and second are required to approve the second reading.
Motion to approve. I'll second.
Call roll.
Commissioners Biggers. Aye. Carlson. Aye. York.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Okay, we'll move on to new business. We have the City of Canton Personnel Manual update. The personnel manual was updated. It was attached on our, what do you call this now? And a motion is needed to approve the revised copy of the personnel manual.
We had sent you a clean version and a marked up version so you could track some of the changes we had done. A lot of just replacing city manager with city administrator, incorporated elements of last year's union contract, added a line in there that would allow us to incorporate union contract changes in the future without having to come back to you for those things. And also we could make future grammatical and style and form changes without having to come back to you. Those happen again or arise again. And yeah, all the other substantive changes were highlighted for your review.
Motion to approve.
Yeah, it's a different link, so people have to change their video.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. If there's no questions, we'll call roll.
Commissioners Carlson. Aye. York.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
Biggers. Aye. Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye.
Yeah, can I jump in for a second?
Yes.
Yeah, I had to start a new YouTube live stream from the original video, so yes, if you're texting with anybody or let them know that they have to switch live streams.
Okay. Next, we have the housing study. Jessica from Porch Light Services has submitted a housing study proposal and service agreement. These items are attached if you go online. So a motion is needed to approve the housing study.
Our last housing study these documents aren't good for very long. All of the housing studies that were done in South Dakota the last decade were done by the same outfit out of Minnesota, and they were pretty generic. I don't know that they did a whole lot of on-the-ground research. This new outfit is based here in South Dakota, and it's much more hands-on. They form a steering committee of local people to get input. They want to really identify what's the housing stock like in your town. They don't just say, oh, here's the market conditions and how many houses you have in market, and you should be able to support this much more based on few factors they can pull off the internet. They drive through the town, they look at the housing stock, they get out and knock on doors and talk to people about what they think, what they see in their own community, and they build a much more realistic picture of what your town can support for housing. So with things moving again with the housing development on the east edge of town and the need to look at what we can support beyond that development, a new housing study would be very valuable.
I'm trying to, where did we talk about?
So on the last page, it says statement of work, but it's blank. Is the statement of work the other attachment?
Yeah. Is that attachment not loaded for you?
Services agreement?
Well, I got the service agreement, and then there's the thing that kind of explains what porch light is. I didn't know if that was the statement of work. It doesn't say that on the document.
If I got the wrong attachments over to you guys, then you can certainly push this back.
I have 15 pages of portfolio.
Yeah, and then there's, at the end, it says exhibit A, statement of work, and it's just a blank piece of paper. I didn't know.
Must not have gotten the right attachments over to Alicia and Tiffany for attachment.
So do you want to push back?
Yeah.
We can table it?
Yeah, I would make a motion to table it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to table this item.
In the meantime, I'll get that agreement over to Freeburg Nelson for
Yeah.
review though too.
Then call roll.
Commissioners York.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
Biggers. Aye. Carlson. Aye. Mayor Lindstrom.
Aye. Next on the agenda is a resolution to set a hearing date for a special assessment for nuisance abatements. As part of the nuisance abatement process, the city incurred costs for hiring contractors for mowing, yard cleanup, and structural inspection and review. By law, those bills that remain unpaid can be assessed to the property. A special assessment process provides that the governing body set a public hearing and notify property owners of the hearing by both sending notice and publishing the notice of hearing. The notice calls for the public hearing to be held on October 20th, 2025. Following the public hearing, the city commission will adopt a resolution approving the special assessment with any adjustments. So, a motion and a second required to approve this hearing.
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any questions? Anybody? No? You call roll.
Commissioners Garbers.
Aye.
Biggers. Aye. Carlson. Aye. York.
Aye.
Mayor Lindstrom.
Aye. Okay. The next is about the Diligent Community Meeting Groups.
So, get a lot of feedback about where residents and citizens can find other board meetings. And to that extent, you know, there's remotely under us is you, planning and zoning, library, rec board, airport board, not really under us those, and then it's the housing development board or even the economic development board. But in order to use board docs or diligent community, we would have to add, we have now added planning and zoning, so we'll start utilizing that for planning and zoning agendas. But in order to add any more agendas, meetings on there, we would have to do this additional purchase with them. I don't know if we think that it's worth this amount of money, or if you want to just find a little bit more traditional route of getting their agendas on our website, but not use board docs. But wanted to lay this in front of you that if you would want us to utilize board docs for anything else, we are at our max for it.
And is this extra amount per year?
Ooh, shit.
It
I
says that
believe so.
access for additional groups are sold in
Yeah.
blocks of 5.
So are we at, so we have a set of 5 that we're only using 2 of?
They gave us 2, so city commission and planning and zoning, and then anything beyond that
That's
is
a lot.
So then you'd have 5, another 5.
another 5.
Right,
I guess I would wanna know if this is a one-time payment or a yearly payment, because that would make a big difference.
I believe it's per year, but we
Yeah,
can
it's
get
per year.
clarification.
And say, I think we pay diligent per year, so I feel like that would make sense.
yeah, it's a per year deal. I think our two most important boards, obviously, the commission and planning and zoning, are the ones that we need the most transparency and eyes on and accessibility for. So it's,
Isn't the library already on the library's website? I feel like, I mean, their minutes are really nominal.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah, this would only be about making one central spot for everything. It's not that you can't find access to the other one. Some of them are next to the but, yeah, this was more about centralizing it under the one.
I mean, 2,500, right? That's not terrible. You know, if we can get everything all on the same place for 2,500 a year, I mean, that's not an excessive number.
And that's $208 a month.
How often do these other people meet?
Monthly to quarterly. Airport board.
I'm the worst when it comes to computer knowledge, but you can't go on the city and just post it under this.
On our
Oh,
website,
we could, that's just it, we absolutely could just post it on the website and not utilize board docs, we absolutely could.
Why would
I'm
we
just
do
wondering
that?
about like data space on our website, how much more is it to withhold space on the website, for all the data that you place on a website, you only get so much, and then you have to increase your,
Pay what you're paying, increasing, you're paying them for space.
yeah, so then.
However,
are we-
agendas are pretty
But if we start gathering all of the last 10 years and start packing them on there and then, and making them readable, because you want a PDF version that's legible.
Yep.
I don't know, it's just the amount of data that we're gonna pack onto our website, will it slow it? Will it cost us extra? And then how much is that extra? And then, then again, are we going to different spots on our website, having to click, find the next board, I don't know. I just feel like if everybody knows that if everything's on board docs or diligent or whatever.
Yeah,
Simplicity can be helpful for people.
I agree, that it would be much easier if it was all in one location.
That's how the other towns are doing it. Lennox, T, and Harrisburg, all in one.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
okay, we have a motion and a second to approve adding extra blocks for the different boards. So, Nicole roll?
Commissioners Biggers.
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Okay, that's all we have on the agenda for items to discuss. So now we'll open commissioner dialogue. Do you have anything, Chris?
I'll quickly address a water bill so folks are aware of how water bills work. Surcharges that we have existing on our water bill at this time are the Beaver Creek lift station, the Dakota Street project 2014, 2015.
10 or more.
It was before, it's been longer ago than 8 years, I think. Or started 8 years ago, or they were finishing that up in 2018, I know.
Yeah. And then this interconnect with South Lincoln Rural Water. So I want folks to understand that's how we pay for these infrastructure updates, so we can get things better and up to par, up to snuff. Our capital improvement plan, that sort of thing. So just so you see your water bill and how it fluctuates, it has to do with completing these projects, and
Yeah, we get the best terms for borrowing money for projects by using the surcharge. Nothing.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay, you got anything, Sarah?
I guess I wanna say like, the, homecoming parade was great, just the amount of people that participated, that were there. I wanna say it's one of our best parades in town, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of. Make sure you also get out and attend your small businesses in town. Just make sure that you're thinking small when you're going out and shopping, please, as we come into the holiday seasons.
Paul?
I was just gonna say it was a good homecoming week and congratulations on the win.
It was a great week. It was a great week. I spent a lot of time in the football stadium. So I don't have anything.
I got,
You have something.
Our new code enforcement outfit was in town last week. We opened up a package today from them, a rather large box with the plan always was that we receive, after driving through town and coming up with all the infractions he saw, that he would create a physical file and that would come to City Hall, and he maintains the digital file. And we have 99 files from him. So 99 different properties, it's more than just 99 infractions. Obviously, some properties have more than one infraction. One common write-up that we will have to have a discussion about going forward is people not parking on hard surface. And certainly on some properties, there's no excuse to not park on a hard surface. There are other properties where for a long time, we've allowed them, they have a grass driveway, or they have no garage or driveway, and they can, pull off the alley and park it in the grass. Is that something we want to have just a yes or no approach to, is parking on those hard surfaces? Are we looking to grandfather in, especially at older parts of town? It is not unheard of to have a part of a town that is grandfathered in, that was constructed before a certain period of time. So that might be something we need to seriously consider.
I think we need to put it on the agenda, and then the public knows that we're gonna do about it,
Right.
because I'd like to hear both sides.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to solicit, an answer right now. I want to put it on your radar to think about, and then we'll put it on the agenda, because it is, if we just enforced it without any nuance to it, I think we would have a lot of trouble.
Last 2 to 3 years, parking off Blacktop Street has gotten worse.
Is this, when we're talking about them parking in grass, is it like in an alleyway? Is it
No.
behind a house?
It's
Is that?
not.
It's all over. It's a front yard, side yards, off of, adjacent to alleys, sometimes not. It's a little bit of something everywhere. Yeah. And right now, hard surface currently defined as concrete or blacktop. Gravel it says concrete or blacktop. I mean, that'd be one way of adding a little bit of flexibility, is just simply adding gravel to it, but. Yeah, 99. And then we did, our internet service provider here in this building did update all their equipment in the building. When they did a test before updating the equipment, they were seeing that the signal was both weak and getting dropped 10 times for every hour.
Yep.
So they came down, they updated all their equipment in the building and ran the same test and did not see any of the same problems. If we do, for whatever reason, have problems with the streaming, there's some equipment we do own in the building on our own that we can update as well. But the service provider did think that we would see better results with what they did, and that was free of charge, just because they own the equipment and are supposed to keep it up to date.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Call roll.
Commissioners Carlson,
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Garbers,
Aye.
Biggers. Aye. Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye, meeting is adjourned.
So it took it out, but I did get it on. Thank you.
I got two for you. Questions? I'd like to know that right now.
I forgot to add it to the face. I just added it to the page.
Or is this done already?
So let's see. See, are we on that page either? Then you would just click here.
Okay.
$1,500.
Is that
Everyone's, there it is.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Robin?
So, and mine took a while to appear,
Okay.
then once it did, I was,
And
yeah.
question, I saw him removing Christmas lights from the courthouse Christmas trees yesterday,
Mr. Jewell?
Mr. Robin Minor.
He was helping the guy because I seen the same thing.
Well, I couldn't tell if they were taking them down or putting them up.
I think it was one.
Well, they've been on there forever.
Yeah, that's what I was like, I don't think they've ever taken
Well, maybe
them.
there's
No, and half of them don't work. They should have
So-
taken it out and started over.
I wondered.
It's always a city event that turned them on. So
Yeah.
I was driving away, couldn't get two shits less about it, I'm wondering if we're paying for that or if the county is.
For the lights and stuff?
For the labor to put the lights up.
Well, Jewel is
Yeah,
always
like,
the one
Jewel was
that's paying
there.
for it.
Yeah, there's no discussion
Okay.
with us, City Hall about it.
Well, that, you won't be surprised if there ever is.
Some things are on autopilot, right?
Till the bill comes across your desk.
Yeah.
Answer my question.
Absolutely.
I wanna start seeing things go to bid.
I've never
How's
seen
that sound?
Candy Frank